Welcome to Protect Nature. Today we will embark on an emotional journey where we come face to face with the unimaginable power of nature. From devastating earthquakes to tsunamis that wipe out everything in the blink of an eye, you will witness the devastating devastation and realize the smallness and fragility of human life in the face of nature's fury. These heart-stopping moments not only shock us, but also awaken our deep responsibility to protect the blue planet we live on. Let's experience 40 memorable minutes together to better understand the importance of preserving the environment. Are you ready to embark on this challenging journey? Lava is pouring out of the volcano. The hail fell thickly and covered the ground with white and made a rumbling noise. The storm with the wind gusts is really scary. The storm roared, the wind howled, sweeping away everything in its path. A blinding sandstorm was rolling in, obscuring all visibility. The storm, with its terrible winds, caused trees to be knocked down. Widespread flooding is engulfing the region, with water rising as high as the ocean. The tornado is blowing everything up in the sky. It's dangerous. A storm of terrible force is hitting the town. The storm caused severe flooding, sweeping away everything in its path. Homes are in danger as a tornado is approaching. The flood poured down, bringing with it mud and soil, creating a chaotic scene. Tsunamis poured in from the sea, rolled up violently, and hit the shore with devastating force. A forest fire in the distance. The flames blazed brightly. Thick smoke spread across the sky. House near the sea was destroyed by storm waves, leaving behind rubble and debris. It's scary. The storm is destroying the town. A giant tornado is forming. The sight is terrifying. Storms and floods pose serious dangers to traffic, inundating roads and impeding all means of transport. Forest fires with large areas due to prolonged heat, billowing smoke is really scary. The storm, with its terrible gusts of wind, the hurricane, was out of control. The moment a giant iceberg in the Arctic Ocean collapsed, warning that the Earth's temperature is getting warmer. The storm came, the wind blew wildly, swirling as if it wanted to sweep everything away. The tornado left behind heavy damage, houses were destroyed. It was terrifying. The rain poured down heavily. The sky gradually turned gray. The forest fire raged, burning trees and creating a thick sea of smoke. The fire continued to burn. The small tornado was quickly heading towards the house. Floods flooded the town, submerging everything in the blink of an eye. Oh my God, the tornado at sea is terrible. The waves rose tens of meters high. It was terrifying. The super typhoon hit. Trees fell everywhere. Branches and leaves were broken and scattered. Floodwater on the river rushed down from the mountain due to the recent storm. Tornadoes roll. Thunder rumbles, lightning flashes in the storm. Hours of heavy rain and lightning threaten to flood the city. Huge icebergs cracked and fell. The tornado was getting bigger and bigger. The sky was dark and scary. The storm hit the city. The wind was extremely strong. Oh my God, the big city is in a huge flood. The sky is so dark, can't see anything. The storm hit the city. The wind was as strong as a hurricane, making everything shake. Hot lava flows from the erupting volcano, flowing down the mountainside with terrible heat. Terrible. The flood is raging and sweeping everything away. The tornado swirled across the gray sky. The wind howled, carrying trees and debris. The devastation of the storm was terrible. Everything was badly damaged. The tornado formed over the river and was moving towards the shore. The storm near the sea caused large waves to crash inland, causing flooding and damage to people's homes. Landslides cause rocks and soil to roll down, which is very dangerous. Heavy rain and strong winds accompanied by thunder and lightning. The dark sky signaled that a giant storm was about to hit. A tornado from the sea is slowly forming as it moves inland. The Black Sea signals a terrible storm is about to hit. The floodwaters surged strongly and flowed rapidly, sweeping everything away in their raging waters. The floodwater rushed down from the mountain. Tsunami with strong winds crashed into the shore, bringing terrible destruction. The continuous rain and floods caused the river water to rise and flow rapidly, completely destroying the bridge. The flood caused landslides in the mountains. Rocks and soil rushed down, very dangerous. The blizzard swept through, turning everything into a sea of white, misty fog. Severe floods swept through the town, leaving behind rubble and devastation. A landslide hit the mountain, carrying a huge layer of rock and soil down. After the first 10 minutes of the journey, you must have felt the horror that natural disasters can bring. From fierce tsunamis that sweep everything away to earthquakes that shake the ground beneath your feet. These scenes not only make our hearts ache, but also awaken in each of us compassion and a deep sense of responsibility to protect the planet. Nature, no matter how cruel, still possesses majestic beauty that humans need to cherish and preserve. Are you ready to continue this journey? Let's go with Protect Nature to the next moments, where each image is a reminder of our noble mission in protecting the living environment for the future. Welcome back to Protect Nature. In the next 10 minutes, we will continue to explore the awesome power of nature. Prepare yourself for some stunning images of devastating storms and landslides, scenes that highlight the insignificance of humans in the face of the might of Mother Nature. These moments are not only shocking, but also highlight the importance of protecting the environment. Together, we will continue this journey to better understand the challenges and how we can take action to protect our blue planet. Are you ready? Let's get started. Huge hailstones fell down, covering the road with white pebbles. The super typhoon made landfall with terrible intensity, bringing with it strong storm winds and heavy rain, causing severe damage to trees. Coastal storms cause heavy damage to people. Heavy hailstones fell, creating a thick layer of ice on the ground. The floodwaters that swept through the town caused severe damage, leaving cars stranded and unable to move. Dusty wind obstructs traffic. The lava is erupting, pouring out of the crater with red-hot heat. The flood was so strong that it swept away the car. It was terrible. Typhoon Yagi is making landfall from the sea. Heavy snowfall for hours. The storm had winds so strong that they knocked down ancient trees. The continuous thunder and lightning in the sky signaled that a heavy rain was coming. The floodwaters swept away everything, causing heavy damage. The floodwaters swept in, submerging apartments in deep, muddy water. Large avalanche endangers people. The damage from the earthquake was so severe that rubble was piled up, streets were deformed, and infrastructure was heavily damaged. The mountain is collapsing. Rocks and soil are sliding down at a rapid rate. The flood swept away everything and caused heavy damage. Terrible subsidence caused by earthquake disaster. The forest was on fire. The fire lit up the whole sky. It was so scary. Landslides on mountain roads are dangerous and can cause accidents. After the storm, floods began to flood the town in earnest. The torrential rains and floods have caused severe damage to infrastructure. The storm came with howling winds and pouring rain. Severe landslides caused by prolonged rain. Floods have severely disrupted traffic, with roads deeply submerged in water and vehicles moving with difficulty. The tornado swirled and swept dust, trees, and objects into the air. Large-scale forest fires caused damage and danger to people. Floods caused traffic congestion. Roads were flooded, causing long lines of vehicles to be stuck, unable to move. The blinding blizzard reduced visibility to near zero, and heavy snow covered the roads and roofs. Muddy water rushed into the city, sweeping everything away. The bridge was destroyed when the river water rose from prolonged heavy rains. Each block of ice broke, cracked, and fell into the sea. flood came, carrying mud and rubbish, turning the whole town into a vast sea of water. Traffic became chaotic as floodwaters inundated highways, making it impossible for vehicles to move. The tornado rolled violently, forming a vortex that rose high, carrying dust and debris. It was terrifying. Lava flows from the volcano, red and boiling. The flood swept away everything in its path. The fire raged throughout the forest, black smoke billowing into the air. Floods caused traffic inconvenience. Oh my God, houses are being washed away. It's scary. A tornado is forming in the sky, signaling the risk of a major tornado forming. The ice sheets gradually cracked. Large chunks fell down. The floods swept through, causing severe destruction to houses and fields. Floods disrupted traffic. Water flooded roads, causing vehicles to get stuck. The tornado blew everything up into the sky, causing damage to people and property. Floods inundate roads, causing serious traffic disruption. The powerful flood swept in, inundating apartments with water and causing serious damage to furniture and property. In the distance, the sky was pitch black. The tornado was gradually forming and getting bigger. The flood came in quickly. Water began to submerge everywhere. Floodwaters flooded the streets and created raging torrents of water, sweeping away everything in their path. Huge icebergs are falling from the iceberg. Heavy hail fell down, covering the ground. Lava is flowing out of the volcano, down like red rivers. After the first 10 minutes, you will feel the terrible power of nature and its devastation. These images are not only overwhelming, but also emphasize the need to protect the environment. These moments have awakened a sense of responsibility we have to protect the planet. Let's continue the journey with Protect Nature to find solutions to protect the Earth. Are you ready? Let's continue. Welcome back to Protect Nature. In the next 10 minutes, we'll explore the deeper side of natural disasters. Prepare yourself for some stunning footage of devastating floods and tsunamis, which show the incredible power of Mother Nature. These images are not only stunning, but also highlight the importance of protecting our habitat. Let's continue our journey and learn how we can take action to protect the planet. Are you ready? Here we go. The fire was burning, black smoke covered the sky. The giant tornado was like a funnel covering the entire sky. Hail was about to cover the entire garden. The sound of hail, one after another, was terrifying. The power of this storm is terrible. Dark clouds covered the sky. The tornado spun as fast as a mill, crushing everything. The entire green forest was engulfed in red flames. The fire spread more and more. They burned almost the entire forest. The fires became stronger and stronger, spreading to the surrounding areas. The rain poured down, causing the streets to flood in a short time. The sandstorm was like a giant monster that was gradually approaching, and the surrounding landscape became blurry. Large pieces of ice have begun to separate and fall to the sea surface. The lava flows down like a river of fire. Floodwaters rose, flooding houses and roads in just a few hours. Intense forest fires break out quickly and spread at a speed that is difficult to control. Strong winds spread the fire quickly, making the fire more dangerous. The rain had completely whitened the entire area, accompanied by strong winds, making the landscape desolate. The sky had turned a hazy orange color due to the sand cover. The storm swept everything around. Trees were blown down and scattered. Thick snow and rain covered both houses and vehicles. The road is also covered, so you can't see the way. Heavy rain flooded the city with water. The murky floodwaters submerged the entire city. All trees were completely burned by the fire. The red molten lava slowly flowed down the mountainside. The pillar of fire shot high into the sky, creating a scene that was both majestic and terrifying. The storm came with strong winds and intense heavy rain. Thunder and lightning appeared. They were like sparks of electricity flickering in the sky. The whole large building collapsed in an instant. Everything was buried in rubble. The house is being consumed by fire. The earthquake was so intense that it caused buildings to shake violently. Some buildings could not resist and collapsed. The tornado moved at a rapid speed, sweeping the entire field. Each piece of ice began to melt and gradually sink into the cold sea. The cracking sound of breaking ice rang out as the ice sheets cracked. The power of this storm is terrible. The wind blew off the roof of the house. The heavy rain has lasted for an hour but shows no signs of abating. Rainwater flows rapidly on the roads, causing danger to vehicles. The snow on the mountains suddenly fell down. It was terrible. The large iceberg slowly cracked and collapsed into the ocean. The heat from the fire can be felt from a great distance. The fire was so fierce, the sound of trees being burned was terrifying. The flood flow from the mountains is rushing down, submerging the entire field. The floodwaters were so strong, they collapsed the entire bridge. The crater boiled and began to shoot out small jets of lava. Red-hot lava flowed out of the volcano's crater, turning nearby areas barren. The fire burned down the entire forest, turning them into giant torches that lit up the entire sky. Columns of blinding white smoke rose. Life in the forest was wiped out. The storm with terrifying winds rolled in, blowing away everything within reach. The flash flood struck with destructive force, sweeping away everything in its path. The heavy rain continued non-stop. The flood was rushing over the bridge, carrying with it a fierce torrent of water. The flood was coming, sweeping away the small town. The fierce water could not be stopped. The flood came so fast, like a monster suddenly appeared, sweeping everything away. After 10 minutes, you must have felt the terrible devastation of nature and how small we are in front of that power. These powerful images not only moved us, but also aroused a deep sense of responsibility to protect the environment. This highlights the importance of working together to protect the planet. Together with Protect Nature, let's continue this journey to learn more and take action for a more sustainable future. Are you ready? Let's continue. Welcome back to Protect Nature. In these final 10 minutes, we continue our journey of exploring the mighty power of nature. Prepare yourself for images of extreme weather events and the devastation they cause. These scenes will help us better understand the majesty and danger of Mother Nature and highlight the importance of being prepared and protecting the environment. Read on to learn more and find out how we can take action to protect our planet. Are you ready? Let's get started. thunderstorm, the sky is pitch black, like a giant black curtain. Rain splashed against the window, creating blurry streaks of water running down. The roar of the wind echoed throughout the space, like a terrifying harmony of nature. Lightning flashes like anger from nature make the surrounding space become more brilliant. The wind blew strongly, blowing away the glass, causing it to spin in the air. The chaotic scene of ruins is like a desperate picture of unpredictable destruction. Vehicles were swept away like small toys in the hands of nature. Dense, dark clouds covered the sky like a gloomy blanket, signaling the coming rain. Each hailstone fell and clattered on the ground, creating a loud and sharp sound in the air. It devastated crops, with cold stones falling like fragments of destruction. The landscape is now only ruins, an indelible testament to the devastation. Raindrops kept falling, sparkling under the streetlights, creating a mysterious mist. Lightning tore through the sky, like a powerful slash across the dark sky. Thick smoke billowed out, like thick black clouds covering the sky. The red fire was like a wild monster, reaching out to swallow every tree canopy. The crater was boiling, like a giant cauldron of fire preparing to explode. Bright red lava flows like a burning river of fire, moving forward, engulfing everything in the world. After the volcano stopped erupting, the once green land turned into a barren and desolate scene. The forest was engulfed in flames, turning the green trees into piles of ashes. The wave penetrated into the residential area and suddenly swept away everything in its path. The rushing water carried everything around the city, engulfing streets, alleys, and buildings. Violent waves rushed in as if the angry water wanted to swallow everything on its way. The green rice fields began to ripple under the push of strong winds, like the waves of the ocean. All roads and paths are now just endless rivers, quietly washing away traces of life. Streets and rooftops were submerged under murky water, bringing with it mud and destruction. The roar of the fire mixed with the howling of the wind and the cracking of trees. The fire rose rapidly, spreading thick and hazy smoke like a firestorm. The long fire burned everything, leaving behind piles of ashes amid the fury of the flames. The mountain suddenly collapsed, causing rocks and broken soil to slide down the path. The sand and soil crumbled blindly, creating a dust storm that swept away everything in the air. The buildings are now just piles of rubble, completely destroyed. Broken pieces of rock scattered, carrying smoke and dust. The waves came to engulf everything under the rising turbid water. The water carried vehicles and debris, creating a chaotic parade. The strong wind swept away everything in its path, turning the city into a chaotic scene. The white tornado swept up dust and debris, creating a chaotic vortex. The undulating sand dunes and dust cover everything, creating a gloomy and mysterious scene. Sand tornadoes in the desert wrap around space, forming powerful swirling sand columns. The wind blew everything into the air, carrying debris and leaves high into the air. The rain was covered in white, like a thick mist, making the scene blurry. Lightning streaked across the dark sky, bright and fierce, tearing through the silence of the night. Rock and soil slid down with devastating force, creating deep cracks and ruins. The falling snow creates a thick fog, making the scene completely hazy and mysterious. The streets, trees, and buildings are all covered in smooth white, creating a cold scene. The sound of trees breaking mixed with the screams of the wind and the sound of rushing water. The flood was like a fierce beast, rushing forward with irresistible destructive power. Thank you for joining Protect Nature on this 40-minute journey to discover the power of natural disasters and their profound impact on the environment. With every storm, tsunami, and landslide, we not only witness the devastation that nature can wreak, but also the resilience of our communities. The valuable lessons from these scenes highlight the need for greater awareness and action to protect the environment. Your concern and passion are a great source of motivation, helping us continue this important work. We are deeply grateful to you and hope that together we will continue to build a more sustainable and safer future for our planet.